Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you are enjoying this show, you should also check out the Premier Voice Podcast, hosted by myself, Aaron Kintok Sands, the Star Rider Rod, and Long Live the Chief Mighty Mal, where we discuss many topics within the culture, from music, love, relationships, sex, politics, and many more. We could make you laugh, but the show could also get a little raunchy and may not be for everybody. But if you're willing to take that risk, check out the Premier Voice Podcast every Wednesday, a part of the Premier Powerverse. Other show you could check out on the Premier Powerverse is King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands every Friday at 12 p.m. Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod every Monday at 12 p.m. And Welcome to the Trilogy hosted by Long Live the Chief Mighty Mal every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Listen and support on every show in the Premier Powerverse. Thank you for listening to this message and enjoy the show. You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 8. Chill! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, one fourth of the Premier Voice Podcast, and your host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Welcome to another new episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. On the episode, we got my special guest. She is a content creator. She is a self-help author. And we're going to talk to her about life as a content creator and many more. And y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
Hi, my name's Anastasia, and you're now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, it's time for Mr. Gentleman Facts Quote of the Day. And today's quote of the day is, make sure your gift make a statement, because people had no choice but to pay attention. And I say this because people could ignore your talents, but if you make a statement, they would have to see it no matter what. So keep making a statement so people could end up seeing how talented you are. And that is today, Mr. Gentleman Facts Quote of the Day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. On Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Off Series Thursdays, where we have all of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast spin-off series all in one day, where we have a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Rider Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, the Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, and tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheers!
My name is Honor, and you are listening to the Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, I got my special guest. She is a content creator, self-help author, and we're going to talk to her about many things today. We got Miss Anna Lewis in the building. Miss Anna, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good, and I'm just happy to have you on the show. And yeah, I can't wait to do this.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So first, I'm gonna ask you some icebreaker questions. So first thing first, where are you from?
I'm from the UK, or to be more specific, I'm from the southeast. So basically, right by the sea.
Nice. I already have a couple of UK people on the show, so happy to have another one on the show now. So, how would you describe yourself with 3 words?
Oh, it's one of those questions. Okay, hold on. It's one of those you get faced with it. You're like, oh, how would I describe myself? Okay, so I think I'd say bubbly. I like to say I'm caring and optimistic.
Okay, nice. Those are good choices. So,
thank you.
What is one thing you like to do for fun?
I really like to do writing, which a lot of people would probably be shocked about, as that can be seen as quite boring. But I love it. I get a good kick out of it.
I mean, I do some writing as well, poetry, poems, quotes. So I could relate to that. I could definitely relate to that. And what is in your headphones right now? It could be a song, an album, or even a podcast. What are you to? What's in your headphones?
I actually say I'm listening to George Michael a lot lately.
Wow.
Yeah, very different than what I usually listen to. But I just started listening to a few of his songs probably like a month ago, and I'm just hooked. And I'm just listening to everything at the moment.
Classic. You know, Careless Whisper has always been my favorite song.
Oh yes, I love that song. I adore it.
Yes. So let's talk about your beginning of life. So how was you growing up?
So my life has been quite interesting in the sense of I would say I had the traditionally like good life in terms of like family. You know, my mum and dad were married and they were healthy. Okay, they just split up later on in life, but it didn't really impact me. But during school, that's where I struggled most. I did deal with bullying, but I think that's something that honestly I think a lot of people do end up going through that, unfortunately. So it was something that was difficult to navigate and deal with, and I really think that shaped me who I am today. Because, yeah, I'd say there's a lot of character growth through that. You know, I learned to defend myself, and when I was younger, I really was much a people pleaser because I was bullied by a lot of people. And I think it's interesting because during my class, basically the whole class bullied me. So I think it was like a trend, like, oh, because they're doing it, everyone else does it. So because of that, I learned to be very self-sufficient and standing up for myself. So I think because of those experiences, even though it did suck when I was younger, I am in a way a bit glad I went through that because it did shape me into who I am today.
Yeah, we'll get to that next question too.
Mm-hmm.
But I can relate to the bullying because I also was bullied a lot growing up, mainly because of my speech. And yeah, it was hard, you know, dealing with that. But just like you, I overcame it, and yeah, and it was a lot. I'm not gonna hold you, so I completely understand, you know, being bullied and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of answered this already, but how all that you've been through made you the person that you are today?
So, like I said, it made me quite resilient because I think once you have everyone sort of gang up and you be mean, you know, kids being kids, like, you know, you do kind of have to learn to be happy with yourself and not care about what people think. So back in the day when I was a child, I would be very much focused on people pleasing and making them happy. And then because I was bullied, I think that kind of like was elevated even more because I wanted them to like me and to stop bullying me. That didn't work. So I just accepted to be like, okay, you know what? They don't like me, whatever. I don't care. Nothing's going to change. And I think I've had like little remarks and stuff back in like more recent times, you know, back into when I was in high school and stuff. And I think because of how I dealt with that in primary school, of the bullying, I think it was easier for me because I didn't really care. Like, if people were mean or made remarks, I just kind of went with it. And I think also it taught me self-love because when I was a child, I was a bit different as well. I was on the bigger side, and I hit puberty very early. So, you know, when it comes to puberty, it comes with like smells and like growing hair and all that kind of stuff. And because I really wasn't taught that at such a young age, and I didn't, you know, I did smell, but that's just because I wasn't taught about the clean and the hygiene for when it came to puberty. And bear in mind, this is me at like 7, 8 years old. This is really young. So I did have a lot of self-hatred towards myself back then. And I think it just, going through that experience, I've taught myself to just love myself for the way I am, because people hated me because of those things. I basically learned that, okay, it doesn't matter, because what matters right now is how I feel in this moment, and the only thing I can control is what I can do and how I feel about myself. And by learning to control that, the outside just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I saw that you've been through that. But I'm happy that you overcame it, because I know that was a lot. And like I said, just like you, I was also a people pleaser too, and I learned to get out of that as well. So yeah, it's, you know, bullying it sucks, but I just happy we both overcame that, because it made you into the best version of yourself now. So shout out to you for that. So
thank you. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So one thing you are a content creator. So what made you want to go that route?
So, funny enough, I started doing content creation when I was about, oh god, I don't remember now, when I was 13. For context, I'm 24 now. So yes, I've been doing it for a long time. And it just started off with me watching YouTube a lot, and I would watch like cute little videos. Like, this is the old YouTube where you had like TMI tags or the cinnamon challenge, and for girls it's what's in my handbag, lookbooks and that kind of thing. Like, today it's more complicated, but it was easy and simple, and I just watched it and I thought, I really want to do this. And I think, if I'm being honest, like during this time I was a bit more lonely. This is when I just started high school, so all my friends have gone to different schools and I'm in a new place, and I struggle to make friends. It's something that I don't find the easiest. So in a way, I think I don't want to say substituted it, but it was a good outlet for me to be creative and to almost like talk to a camera and show people little bits and pieces. And I created a little community through doing that. And I'll be honest, I did stop after a little while, just got a bit older. But I then got back into it because there's a part of life that I really wanted to show, and that was like the finding appreciation and looking at the beauty of life just like in the mundane. And for me, I live in the British countryside, and it is absolutely beautiful. And I know in society, especially today, it is very fast paced, and we're just doing lots of things. We're focusing on work, we're focusing on friendships and connections and all that. And I just wanted to create a channel where I could step things back a bit and just really appreciate my surroundings and doing slow things. So just like sitting down and drinking a cup of tea and just being in the moment. And I really wanted to channel that through my channel and to showcase that so people can almost like pause and escape for a little bit while they watch my videos.
Nice. Now, that is really dope. So tell us about the Honor Diary. What is that about?
So the best way I describe it, honestly, is just my diary. I just showcase the things that I do, and I think, especially these days, as I was mentioning earlier, YouTube has got a bit hectic in the sense that you have big productions and it's massive, like, Mr. Beast, like giving away $1 million and stuff, or like, you get other channels and they kind of do the same things, but it's just a massive studio these days. And I wanted to bring things back to the basic where I just do little vlogs and I create nice fashion videos like back in the day of how it was. Just bring things back to the basics so we're not just absorbed into all of this high production and it's just back to me. It's my life. I'm showing the realness of it because a lot of YouTubers, they make a lot of money. I haven't got to that stage, and I'm just a normal person that works a 9-to-5 job, and just I wanted to showcase that and just bring some realness to the YouTube channel.
And that really dope. And if my audience want to watch your channel, where can they watch it?
So if you just search up Honors Diary, my stuff does come up. So if you just search that, then you can find my content.
Okay, nice. So as a content creator, what have been a good thing about it, and what have been the biggest challenge about being a content creator?
It's interesting. I think the best thing that I adore is the creative outlet, and I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to have for jobs, for example, I'm a social media manager. I have to do what my clients want to do, which is absolutely fine. But with my own channel, I get that creative freedom. It doesn't matter what I film or what I do. No one has to tell me what to do, and I think it's a really good outlet for me as I'm a very creative person. And also because I'm in a creative field where I don't have that as much control, it's nice to be able to have that control in my own thing and just showcase my favorite parts of my life. And it's interesting because I actually really enjoy watching back my own vlogs, because I like to watch, for example, when I went to the Cotswolds or when I went solo traveling to Belgium. Having those memories to look back on is just something that I enjoy doing, and I actually find myself doing that because I'm like, oh yes, I remember doing that. And I think the most difficult thing, funny enough, it is actually nothing to do with my current channel. It's to do with an older channel I had, which was a gaming channel, and that grew somewhat big, and I had ended up dealing with being stalked and doxxed. So that was really scary because I think it does just show you the dangers of the internet, and there are a lot of things I have learned from that situation. And I think also when that happened to me, I only had 1.5k followers. It's not massive. So it's scary to think, okay, I don't need to be a massive YouTuber with millions of followers for people to find this stuff out about me. So it really did almost bring me back to reality in a bit and think, okay, yes, I need to be careful here. There are people who have bad intentions, and it's really important to protect yourself when you're online. So that's probably the most negative thing that I've encountered when it came to content creation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that happened to you, but that is crazy about the stalker thing. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's strange. They just emailed me one day saying, "Hi, Oda, I saw you went to this school and that you live at this dress. That's so cool." And they just made it so casual, and I'm just here alarm bells going off, oh my gosh, how'd they find this information? Yeah. So I was just going through my whole online portfolio, as in every single social media account, okay, what if I posted it could have this? And it turned out it was from a really old LinkedIn profile, and it's scary. It's just you would not think to be careful those sort of situations. People are going to search up your LinkedIn, which is professional and is meant to be for getting a job, but in this case they wanted to know all the information about me. So yeah, I've had to really be careful with that since.
Yeah, and that is crazy. And what is your goal as a content creator? Which goal are you trying to reach?
So I think, I have the obvious goals, I'd like to grow, it'd be amazing to hit 100,000 followers or anything like that. But it's not my main, oh my God, I need to achieve this while doing my social media. I think my main goal is to have an impact on people where like basically I just achieved my mission of making people feel like they've escaped when they watch my channel, and that they just feel inspired. And I want to leave a positive feeling after someone's watched my videos. So I really try to make sure I channel that, but also to expand my creativity and just push my boundaries. So I'm not creating the same videos and like, you know, rinse and repeat doing this and that. Like, you know, I want to experiment with my cinematography and little bits and pieces like that. So it's more personal goals and also just how people feel after they watch what I do.
That's dope. I know you're gonna reach all your goals. I know you're definitely gonna reach all your goals. Just keep doing your thing. And by the way, I have watched your videos and you're killing it. I like it. Keep doing your thing.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So you are also a self-help author. What made you want to get into? What inspired you to get into that?
So, funny enough, COVID is what really got me into that. And I think it's because I sat at home, you know, everyone was bored and it was a very difficult time and I was challenged with anxiety. And I think, so basically the story of my book, How to Romanticize Your Life, it is about living your best life in the day-to-day moment. And I basically just, I don't want to say discovered it, but the notion of it, I came across it through going through COVID and being bored at home. And, you know, it just was very mundane, just sat at home, what do you do? And I really took things back to the basics where I'm like, okay, if I want to make the most of a situation, and I don't want to say enjoy it because, you know, it's a difficult time, people have gone through horrible situations through that, but at least for me, to try and make the most of it and try bring a sense of happiness, I really focused on each of my day-to-day things that I was doing and like my routines and stuff. So, you know, most people would just have a drink and that's that, whereas I thought, okay, how can I make this an enjoyable experience and just really be present in the moment and practice mindfulness? So I did a lot of almost like discovering this through COVID. So, you know, in the UK, at least we were allowed 1 hour a day when it came to exercise or going walking. So for me, it was, how can I really make the most of that 1 hour of going out to enjoy myself and just appreciate what's around me? So for me, it was taking walks and really being in the moment. And funny enough, it was after COVID when we could integrate back into society and just going back into the full swing of things, like, you know, back to work, back to school. And it was, I realized like, okay, things are back to normal now, or back to normal. I say with quotation marks. And
I agree.
Yeah, it's not really been the same since, really. But people just, you know, focused on their goals, and like, you know, it was almost like, okay, let's try to get back to normal. Let's try have children. Let's get married, buy a house, career goals, all of that stuff. And I sat there and thought for a second. I thought, okay, I've achieved a big goal in my life, but nothing's really changed. You know, I thought, in a way, back in the day when I wanted to be a YouTuber, but like big time, like proper, you know, that was what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I'm gonna like be successful and like my whole life's going to change. I can buy all these things and I can do this and I can do that and I'm gonna be the happiest I've ever felt. Then when my old YouTube channel started doing quite well, and like it was there was really a momentum going, I thought, okay, here it goes. Like I'm going to suddenly feel really happy and I'm going to be like living my best life. And that didn't happen. Okay, yes, I was achieving my dreams, but my day-to-day life was still the same. I was still making my YouTube videos the same way. And okay, yes, I had more money at the time, but that's that. It was just money. And I realized like, okay, achieving your goals and your dreams, yes, they're great and it feels amazing when you hit them, but that's not what matters in life. It's your day-to-day life of how you live it. And I know that when you achieve your dreams, the next day you're back into your routine and, you know, you're waking up, you're making a cup of coffee, you're going to there and you're doing this and you're doing that. And actually what matters most is what you do in those moments of how you live your day-to-day life. And I just thought, okay, people are dream chasers, and they want to achieve the big things, and they want to change their lives because there's parts of them that maybe feel a bit empty, they don't feel satisfied. And I truly believe that when you feel satisfied now, just in this moment, that's when you achieve the bigger things. That's when you're going to feel better in yourself, because you didn't need those bigger things to get them, and you didn't get those things out of a place of lack. You achieved them because you wanted to, and you didn't need it, but it was a want. And I feel like it makes it feel even better. And throughout my book, I really wanted to touch that, and it's sort of like that's sort of the area of self-help that I wanted to go into.
And that's really good. And my audience wanted to read your book, How to Romanticize Your Life, where they could get it.
So they can currently get it on Amazon. It's in different Amazons like around the world, so that isn't a problem. So yeah, you can get it from there.
Okay, nice. It's funny that, well, not funny, but you mentioned COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And we all been through it. I mean, out here in America, New York, it was bad. Like you said, quote unquote, yeah, and things like that. We also deal with a lot of mental health. So
Yes.
why is mental health so important to talk about? And what's your biggest challenge to deal with mental health?
So mental health has always been a big thing in my life. So I actually was diagnosed with depression when I was 15, 16. It's crazy how the years merge when you get older. And it's funny because it started when I was in high school, and it's almost like everything from the past just came crashing down all at once, and I was just thinking, oh my god, my life is terrible. It wasn't, but it felt like it was. And I think it was sort of like a time to reflect, because everything that I did encounter in the past, what I mentioned earlier, the bullying, that kind of came to my forefront. Maybe I did kind of push it to the back of my mind and just moved on. But depression really made me deal with everything. And it was like, oh, okay, I didn't actually process these emotions. And I realized that I don't cry. I bottle it up and just move on with my day. And depression really made me think, okay, yeah, you can't do that. Your emotions got to come out. And I feel like it was a time for me to really face things. And I'll be honest, like, as a teenager as well, you deal with a lot of stuff. Life is difficult, and it's difficult to navigate because you're kind of going in between transitioning from a child to an adult. And it's sort of like a weird grey area that you're just trying to navigate. Because in one way, you feel like an adult and you feel like you know everything. You're navigating the world and all that. And another way, you're still a child, and there's that element that you still kind of crave. So, yeah, it was a lot for me to deal with. And I think for me in general, I do struggle with transitions and stuff. So I think all the pressure of that just kind of came crashing down all at once. And I'll be honest, I was self-harming. And at one point, I was getting to a point of like attempting suicide. But when that happened, like, it was like I was struck with reality, and I was like, okay, yeah, I've hit rock bottom. And actually, instead of just running away and trying to deal with things like in my head, that maybe I should get some help. So I did that, and it benefited me quite a lot. And then after the depression, I got diagnosed with anxiety, and an anxiety disorder is something that I still actually deal with today. Luckily, I've learned to manage it. So if I feel a panic attack coming on, I can deal with that. But in the beginning, it was very scary. And I feel like because of everything I've been through and with all the mental health I have dealt with, like, it's something that I do find very important, and I do advocate that. So when I left university and entered the job market, which is absolutely terrible in the UK, when that happened, it took me a year to find a job. It was very difficult to deal with because I had to face with the fact of like, oh, maybe I'm a failure, maybe I'm not worthy and all that. So during that time, I thought, okay, I need to do what I can to prioritize my mental health, because I don't want to go back down the route that I went with depression. And this time time round, if I felt emotional about not getting a job, I cried. I didn't just stuff it away. And I talk about my feelings. In fact, I talked about my feelings on my YouTube channel. It's weird to think this time last year, actually. And I would make videos about talking about how I felt with my mental health and the challenges I came through when it came to job hunting and getting constant rejections for getting a job. And it's difficult because, you know, if you want money to go and do stuff, it's the worry of, can I afford these bills? I had friends inviting me to go on holiday and I'm like, sorry, can't do that, I haven't got a job. So it's all the implications of that. And I feel like at that time round, I could have gone back down the route that I could have went when I was a teenager, but I had the tools to help deal with these difficult situations, but actually handle them healthier and better. And I think having the knowledge of these tools of things that you can do to help yourself is so important, and we're actually not taught that until counselling. And dealing with it, honestly, is talking about it. And I think it's something that we don't do as much these days. It's interesting because I was talking to someone who's a lot older, and he was saying that he believes mental health is a lot more difficult and is more of a prevalent challenge in this modern age, because back in the day, if he had a hard day at work, he would go to the pub afterwards and he would talk with his co-workers over a pint and they would talk about it. But these days, I think, especially because of social media, we are a lot more isolated. We are a lot more busier these days. And we don't talk about things as much. So things do get bottled up, and it does become a lot more challenging to deal with. So, yeah, I do think that we are in an age where maybe we're having to relearn some new methods when it comes to talking about our mental health and being open and honest about how we're truly feeling, and not holding prejudice to people for their thoughts and their emotions. And I think it is something that definitely should be talked about because, you know, even though we are a more proactive society when it comes to mental health, I do think there are some bits and pieces that are a bit hidden and not so talked about as much. So, yes, I do think it's very important to talk about it.
And first things first, thank you for sharing that because, I know exactly what you're going through. I also deal with depression, also was diagnosed with anxiety. I do deal with it today as well, but I know how to handle it. And I wanted to talk about mental health on my show because you didn't never know what any of us is going through. Everybody, any of us do have a story. So I want to say thank you for sharing that, and thank you for just sharing your story. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I do try to be open and honest now these days with like my story. Younger me, would not be opening up about this. I would have just been like, oh yeah, I'm absolutely fine. I had a great childhood. Things are great and all peachy and cream. And it's just like, actually, no, it's good to be open and honest and talk about your story, because that could create a channel for someone else to feel comfortable to talk about their story. And sometimes they're waiting for that first person to make a move and talk about themselves and their struggles to feel safe to be able to do so with them.
Yeah. And that's why I started the show, because I wanted to help people spread their story and also spread my story too. Because I just like you, younger me would not be doing this either. Trust me, younger me would not be sharing my story and stuff like that. So yeah. So once again, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So let's get back to more brighter things. Brighter things. So what is your dream venture? Something that you always want to do?
Oh, I'll tell you what. I really want to visit communities around the world and experience completely different cultures. So there's a channel that I watch called Yes Theory. I don't know if you've heard of them. And they go travel to different places, but they do things that you wouldn't think about. So, for example, they may go visit some tribes in some other countries, or communities where you wouldn't really think, typically you'd look at them and think, why would you want to go visit that? But then once you immerse yourself in those communities, you learn so many stories and you experience amazing and wonderful, unique things that you wouldn't have done or ever thought to have done. And I think that would just be something I would adore to do, because instead of going on holiday to this beach and villa and, doing the typical tourist stuff, being able to immerse yourself in communities and learn about traditions and culture and history as well, I just think that would be such a beautiful experience, and it's something that I would love to do, and it's on my goals to do one day. I definitely have a lot of anxieties about it. I mean, I haven't even been on a plane before. I'm overcoming that in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to Florida. So it is interesting because back onto the mental health thing, like with anxiety, too terrified. I couldn't do it. Just like, nah, just the thought of it is just like, ugh. But just pushing myself and just doing things out of my comfort zone and be like, okay, no, Wanna, it's time to go on a plane. It's time to explore and do things that scare you, but deep down you really want to do. And I just really want to push myself and do more bits like that, because once I've done it, it's so liberating just knowing how you can just do things that you never thought you could ever do. And I just love that feeling of accomplishment.
And that's dope. And anything is possible. You could definitely travel around the world. Anything is definitely possible. And I ain't gonna hold you. I need to change that myself because I only went on a plane once. I need to do it way more because I do want to travel as well. So yeah, I got to change myself as well on that. So what other projects that you have going on that you have not spoke about yet?
So I'm currently in the works of another book, which is very exciting. It's actually more in the spiritual realm. So I'm not fully set on the title. I'm trying to do a play on words because my book's How to Romanticize Your Life. I'm wanting to do something like how to manifest your life. So that's something I'm currently working on. It's in very early stages, which I'm very excited about. But also, I'm just looking to work on more writing opportunities. I love writing about the countryside and traditional British heritage, especially when it comes to fashion and designers. And I really want to immerse myself in that community more. So I'm hoping to take on some writing projects and just write about that as well as talk about it. So that's something that's in the pipeline that I'm really looking forward to talk more about when I'm getting there.
Nice. And when you make that second book, I definitely should bring you back on the show because we're going to talk about the second book. So I'll bring you back in a future episode.
Thank you so much.
Like the podcast. Yes. So what do you have to say for anybody going the same route as you for content creating, being an author? Say something inspirational.
If you want to do it, just go ahead and do it. Because it is interesting. I came across this quote literally earlier on today, and it stuck on with my head. If your boss tells you, okay, you need to do that deadline, you'll do it. If a friend says, oh, could you help me do this and everything, I don't know, help me move into my house or something, you would do it. If you ask yourself, I want to start this YouTube channel, a lot of the time you don't do it. And you're basically telling yourself, you don't trust in yourself, you don't feel like, you're basically undermining your own value because you don't listen to yourself. And that was an interesting quote or phrase or whatever, because a lot of people, they have the dream to do content creation, but maybe they're worried about being judged, or maybe they're worried they don't have the stuff to do it. And if you just told yourself to do it, why don't you just listen to yourself? Because the worst that's going to happen is your first video is not going to be so great, but then you're going to try it again and it'll be a little bit better. Then you try again and just keep focusing on ways that you can improve. If someone's going funny about it, well, whether it's online, block them. If it's someone you know in person, they're a bit like, oh, really, you want to do a YouTube channel? They don't care about you that much. Because if they judge you, and okay, yes, sometimes they come from a place of worry because maybe from their reality, they always hear the stories of, oh, you can't be successful, it's really difficult to get, blah, 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 blah. They're doing that out of a place of maybe caring, but really, it doesn't matter. So what if you fail? You've tried it. I would rather fail knowing I've tried than failing to try. Because I don't want to be 80 and look back and think, oh, I wish I did that YouTube channel, but I was too scared to do it because I didn't know what people were going to think. Or, for example, my self-help book. There was a lot of thought of should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? But because my worry was, am I even qualified to do this? But I just said to myself, just do it. You don't know what you're going to write. And maybe it's the worst bit of writing you ever produced and you can just pretend it didn't happen. But you know what? It's fine because you did it and tried it. But maybe you'll surprise yourself, and maybe it'll turn out even better than you thought it could have been.
And I'm not gonna lie, that was a really, really good advice. That was really good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
So before you go, we're gonna play a segment game called 5 Random Topics. We're actually 5 random topics, and you give me a short or long response. I will also join in on this as well. So,
okay, cool.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep. I think so.
Okay. All right. So, what was the last movie you saw in movie theaters?
Okay, hold on. Oh, Sonic 3.
Oh, okay.
That was so good. I really enjoyed that.
You know what's funny? That was also the last movie I saw in theaters as well, Sonic 3, and it was really good. I can't wait for number 4.
I know. Can I just say that dancing scene is just so iconic. I love it. It was so funny.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite Sonic movies so far. I know Part 4 should be out in 2027.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be a while. All right, what is your favorite food?
It's funny because this actually changes all the time. Like, I'll say, oh yeah, this is my favorite food, but then it isn't. Okay, I'm going to say roast dinner. Do you know what that is? It's basically a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but in the UK, we have it every Sunday.
Okay.
It's so good.
That's nice.
How about you?
Me, I eat a lot. I like a lot of food. If I had to pick something, it would be Thai food.
Oh, yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. Okay. What is your favorite type of music?
It's difficult because it changes all the time. Like, honestly, like me right now would be like, oh yeah, George Michael, like old 90s stuff. But if I'm being realistic and I'm thinking, okay, what do I always go back to? I don't even know what the genre is called. It's sort of like chill, a little bit emo-y. Have you heard of Joji?
I feel it sounds familiar.
So Joji is very relaxed. It's sort of like, I think the way he describes his music is songs you slow dance to at a prom. It's very chill and just like, yeah, I don't know how to word it. I don't know the genre. Maybe I just need to make one up. But yeah, it's just chill music.
Okay, that's a good choice. For me, I like a lot of music, but if I have to say mainly R&B, especially old school. I like old school music, period. Like,
yes, I do.
2000s, 90s, 80s, especially the 80s. I love the 80s.
I listen to pretty much everything.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite show right now? Your favorite TV show right now?
So, I'm listening to, because I have one that's a classic that I'm currently not watching right now, but I love it and I always gravitate back to it, and that's Gossip Girl. Probably the most girliest answer, but honestly, I love it. But then at the moment, I'm currently watching Daredevil. I'm on season 1, and I've just finished that, so I'm still waiting to see the others, so no spoilers. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's so good.
It's crazy because I literally just finished rewatching Daredevil literally late last week. So kind of the one again is out now, so I started watching that. But yeah, but if I had to say my show, I think about me, I watch a lot of TV, so it's hard for me to pick. But I just started watching Suits. Well, I finished Suits, so that's one of them.
Okay.
If I go a little old school, Degrassi always been a show always used to watch. I watch a lot of TV. I watch this show called Paradise now on Hulu, and yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, I got a lot of favorite shows. To
be honest, I watch a lot of The Simpsons. So funny enough, when I was really ill, I had a bit of, I don't want to say a chronic illness, but like I was ill for a couple of years ago. I was like constantly sick, like bleh. TMI. Anyway, because of that, I couldn't really do much. So I thought, okay, I'm going to watch every single Simpsons episode. So I did that, and I actually recently finished it or caught up about a few months ago. So it took a couple of years. There's thousands of episodes, but I loved it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been watching Simpsons pretty much since I was younger. So yeah, I do watch it to this day. So yeah. All right. So my last question: if you had to pick any artist to see in concert, who would that artist be? It could be a living or somebody who died.
Wow, my current obsession was say George Michael. But like, okay, let me think. Let me do something more creative and think. It would be really good to see live. A part of me would really want to see either Kendrick Lamar, actually. I think that would be good. And actually, he's coming to the UK in the summer, so maybe I should get tickets. Yeah, I'm going to say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, nice. I mean, yeah, Kendrick is definitely on my list as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I would have seen Michael Jackson. That's who I wish I would have seen.
Funny enough, that was in my head. I would have loved to see Michael Jackson. I think that would have been very iconic to go see.
Yeah. So you know what? Since you mentioned Kendrick Lamar, I got a bonus question. So doing the beef, who would you root for, Kendrick or Drake?
I'm gonna have to say Kendrick, if I'm honest. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I root for Kendrick too. I've always been a Kendrick fan since I knew him before the beef. So yeah, so I would definitely root for Kendrick.
Yeah.
I would have this to hear Kendrick make new music. I was happy about that. And he's making more new music now, so I'm happy about that.
Yes, definitely.
But Ms. Anna, thank you for coming to the show. This was a really fun, good conversation. And thank you for sharing, everything that you've been through and what you're doing. And thank you for coming on.
It's okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. Like, I do think it's really important to talk about these topics. And funny enough, this is the first time of me properly going into it because I don't know. I guess I haven't had the proper opportunity to. So it's been really nice to talk about it. And I'm glad I've been able to do it with you.
Yes, and thank you for that. And when you release your second book, I definitely want to bring you back on a future episode with the Gentleman Like That podcast. So yeah, so this is my early announcement to bring you back. Yes, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
But of course, before you go, drop your social media where everybody can reach you, and drop your YouTube channel and where they can get your book. This is your time.
Okay, so you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube. I think even Bluesky. I don't even remember these days. You can find me on Honor's Diary. And then my book, How to Romanticize Your Life, The Ultimate Guide to Living Your Desired Reality, that can be found on Amazon.
Okay, nice. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman. Now, I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spinoff Series Thursdays. And Spinoff Series Thursday is the new home for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spinoff Series that brought to you shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast, The Old School Show, and Date Night Talk Podcast. And A Conversation About Music Podcast is a music spin-off series where we talk about anything music, from the current music scene and the old school music scene, where we interview many guests that's in the music industry and artists about their music journey. We have a segment game called The Face Off, which is a versus inspired game. And we have roundtable discussion about variety of music topics. And y'all can check out A Conversation About Music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Now, the Old School Show that featured myself and the star Roddy Rod is a show where we discuss anything old school, from music, TV shows, movies, and many more. We also bring in guests to join in on the old school conversation. Y'all can check out the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. Every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And last but not least, we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B, where we talk about anything relationship related topics, like love, dating, relationships, cheating, the good and the bad, and many more. And y'all can check out this spin-off series, Date Night Talk Podcast, every second and third Thursdays at 12 p.m. So look out for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Presents Spin-off Series Thursdays, a conversation about music podcast every first Thursdays. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Riding Rod every fourth Thursdays, and Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays. And y'all can check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays. And thank y'all for checking out this commercial break. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. True! I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning into this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you to my special guest, Miss Anna Lewis, for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for telling me about your life being a content creator. And check out her book, How to Romanticize Your Life, on Amazon right now. And thank you again for coming on the show. I will definitely bring you back for a future episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. So you can talk about your second book that you got coming out and many more. So once again, thank you, Anna, for coming on the show. If you want to check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, you can check it out every Sundays for the main series and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays, where we have shows like a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 p.m. Date Night Talk Podcast with myself, Ms. Vanna B, every second and third Thursday at 12 p.m. And the Old School Show with myself and the Star Rider Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. Coming this fall, the newest spin-off series Thursday show, the Top 20 Countdown Show, the series with myself and Jalen, the fall of 2025. And new seasons of a conversation about music podcast dropping this summer. New season of the Old School Show dropping this summer. And Date Night Talk Podcast new season dropping on April 10th. So save those dates and look out for all of the Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast spin-off series Thursday lineup returning soon. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show. 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Pod Chases. The more y'all rate the show, the more people know about Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you want to be a guest on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, send me a bio about yourself and everything that you do to my email, Ken, YPGENT@gmail.com, or hit me up on social media, Ken _Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, KEN _Mr. MR Gentleman, GENTLEMAN. We can set something up because I am looking for guests for season 9 of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And you can check me out on the Premier Boys Podcast with myself, Aaron Ketok Sands, the Star Rider Rod, Long Live the Chief Money Mal. New episodes of the Premier Boys Podcast every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows you can check out on the Premier Powerverse Network, King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands. You can check out all episodes right now and look out for the new show, At the Hour with Aaron Sands, coming real soon. You can check out all episodes of Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod. All episodes out now. New episode coming real soon. And check out Welcome to the Trilogy hosted by Long Live the Chief Money Mel. New episodes of Welcome to the Trilogy coming real soon. Support and listen to every show in the Premier Powerverse Network.
It's no Mr. Gentleman like that shout out this week. I'm gonna have to be honest. I have not been listening to a lot of podcasts. I've been pretty busy with a whole lot of stuff. But shout out to every podcaster out there. Keep doing their thing. Keep bringing out amazing content because y'all are all doing amazing. So keep doing your thing. And add me on Good Pods, Ken, Mr. Gentleman. Y'all already know Good Podcast and many independent podcasters. See what everybody listens to. We can rate each other's shows. And we had the charts. And at this time, it's time for Mr. Gentleman, like the achievement, where we spotlight everything Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast is doing. And of course, we got the Good Pod charts. And for top 100 shows, we are number 4 for top 100 shows. And yeah, that is amazing. Wow. I haven't been that high for top 100 shows in a very, very long time. So thank you, everybody who's been listening to Mr. Gentleman like that podcast. It really means a lot. For society and culture, we got back to number 1. We've been number 1 for 2 days for Noble charts and the indie charts. For a personal journal, we are through number 1. We've been number 1 for 6 days. And thank you, everybody who continue to listen to Mr. Gentleman like that podcast on Good Pods. It really means a lot. And if you listen to Mr. Gentleman like that podcast on other platforms, thank you for the support. It really means a lot. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That continue to grow the platform and continue to share our story. Because y'all already know this is a safe place for conversation. And yeah, the show for everybody. So once again, thank you for the support from everybody. If you listen to the show, shared it, watch the video, subscribe to all my channels, and everything, brought up merch. It really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you, for real. Thank you. And of course, check out the official website of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast. You can check out all episodes of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast, all 241 episodes of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast, 6 episodes only exclusively on YouTube and Podchases. You go check out every guest who's been on Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. All 77 guests who've been on Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Check out every video from Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. That's on the website. From the audio version of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. From the Gentleman Like That Podcast TV. From Mr. Gentleman Fat Code Today. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel right now. Check out every guest that I've been on. Many more guest appearances coming real soon. Check out the latest guest appearances that I've been on from Visit Vegas Places with Coral. We have many more coming real soon. And check out the official merch from Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. www.tpublic.com. Just search Mr. Gentleman Like That store. We have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and many more. Support the merch store so we can upgrade your listening experiences. So check out the official merch store for Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. www.tpublic.com. Search Mr. Gentleman Like That store. And check out the official website of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com. Once again, thank you everybody who check out this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. 4 more episodes left in season 8 of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. And on next week episode, we have a pro bono specialist coming on the show. She have a business called Juju J Production, and we're going to dive into her about everything. And this is somebody that I actually know. I am proud of the person, so I can't wait to share her story on Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Have a good day or night, wherever you're listening to this episode.
My name is Hazel, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.